for those of you who want to know the turbo setup, the turbo manifold is a RSI new version, either 24 valve swap or E34 turbo manifold they make. Their previous one had some boost creeping issues, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people have dealt with, but they went ahead and recreated their manifold, made this one. It fits great. We actually modified it to place the turbo a little differently. Not saying that it really needed it, but it just wasn't up to our liking, so we went ahead and changed that. The turbo that's on this car is a GT35R. I think it's one of the best turbos for these motors. It's nothing crazy. You can make plenty of power. It's very responsive. It sounds great. You know, there's a lot of guys running precisions and whole sets and a bunch of stuff, but this to us is like our cookie cutter setup. It works, sounds great, and it's very reasonably priced. And then we just modify the cold compressor side to route our charge pipe. Downpipe is a 3-inch downpipe. Sure, we could have gone 3.5, but it doesn't need it. For what this car is being used for the power that it makes, it's more than enough. And the wastegate is just a 40 mil Turbo Smart wastegate that we used on this one. Typically we use tile, but on this car we use Turbo Smart components. And then the tune is obviously Jordan from RK Tunes. Went ahead and live tuned this car when it was out here a few years ago on the 85, and it has his tune package, his MAF, his drop, his flash. These aren't the injectors you would get on his turbo tune package, but this is another option. These are just bigger for E85. Finding a hole for a door pull in the morning when it comes out. Yeah, somebody didn't put a hole. Wow. So here she is. Wow. Beautiful, man. A little different, right? Yeah. Setup's actually quite a bit different. Yeah. Tell me about it a little bit. Yeah. So it's a lot more better. So we're gonna freaking either wait for that cover to get here, and then we'll figure out the solution for that. But different turbo manifold, new GT35R. So remember from the last time with all the shit they had done, yeah, they screwed everything up. So I couldn't use the manifold. I couldn't use anything from the motor. Nothing, not even hardware. Okay. So this is all fresh, forged rods. The fuel system's pretty much all the same except for the injectors. The RSI new version manifold, which we modified. So we basically just cut it here, modified it to bring the position of the turbo a little bit further away from the radiator support, and we clocked it. Okay. The wastegate does not need to come off of the turbo housing anymore. Yeah, so I got a lot of questions about that before. Yeah, so now it's like extra clean, and it's just a dump tube that goes down over the subframe and out the back over here. New radiator setup, no more expansion tank or whatever the hell they have. Overflow tank to fill the radiator. There's a whole bunch of nonsense on here, man. And then we put the booster and all that stuff back in it, so that it's like drives and functions as a normal car. And then we just put a bunch of accents and whatnot. Like these used to be black, these used to be black, but we had some cat-plated ones that I thought would look good. No, these are good. And then just like the headlight cover and the airbox and all the pending stuff that we're gonna use. Wow. But yeah, man, the intercooler, everything's super clean, tucked away. And those are the plates that I was talking about. So we bought these plates so that we don't have to. Oh, I see. Cover all the holes, and then once you have a headlight cover, you won't see anything. Little stuff like the freaking fuse box cover, all that stuff makes it different. So before you didn't have that end cover, and then this one was kind of butchered up over the years, so we just put everything in. So that it's extra clean. It looks good. And then we just went through everything, dude. Like the idlers, everything got screwed up because of the fire and the heat. Last time I drove it, it actually won first place at that Stan's Wars LA.
best European, and then I fucking...
And then it got a little toasty.
Yeah, it lit up on the way home, for sure.
That's the wastegate dump. It has nothing to do with your exhaust cutout. So it actually allows the motor to breathe more. So it technically makes more power. See a cop? Close it in.
Yo, that's nice.
So we'll go around, and then you just bring us back around.
A little bit.
So just take it easy. And I'll show you what I mean about the decel. So go into second gear. Rev it more. Now don't do anything else, but release the gas. So release the gas. That's deceleration. That's what I need you to do. You can do it on the freeway. You can do it, if you're cruising. It gets annoying, but
yeah.
Be a little smoother on the
clutch. Not use that twin disc right
that
now.
clutch grabs like this. You'll feel the way the car drives. And know right away if there's an issue or something. Yeah. So that's when you have to be conscious about it.
As far as temp gauge and...
It should never go above half. If it goes above half, it should never go above 3/4.
Okay.
And then what I want you to do, if in case it does, because anything can fail. The fan can fail, thermostat can get stuck. If anything does fail, you just have to be conscious about it. Alright, this is my boy Brian. He's the owner of the silver E30 M3 that we did the undercarriage restoration and a whole lot more. He's been dying to have this car back. And we're just now gonna give it to him. He hasn't seen the engine bay, he hasn't driven the car. I actually don't even think you ever drove this car.
No, I never drove it.
Bought it, got it dropped off straight here. Brings us to this point. Not gonna be riding dirty anymore. And I'll show you around the new engine there. So it's all fresh. I replaced the washer tank because it was all yellow. So I don't put fluid in them. I don't even use them. And you should be ashamed of yourself if you use that in this car. If your car's that dirty, you gotta do that. Get that thing washed. Not saying that it's a bad thing. Everyone uses it in their other cars and whatnot, but you don't do it in this car. But everything was gone through. Those are new covers because the other ones were just so deteriorated, dry. I couldn't restore them. And that's your original map. The original intake boot was ripped, but I put another one. Which those are actually on the leg. You can't even buy them. Still your original radiator. It was in good condition. So I kind of steered away from putting an aluminum one in there because it kind of sucked. It don't fit well. And honestly, I've never had an issue. AC, everything works perfectly as the way it should. The brakes are really sensitive. So just be really easy on them right now. You'll bed them in a little better than I have because you're actually going to put some miles on it. Hopefully, if you don't, it stops really quick. So, give yourself some time to stop for now while we finish the bedding process. After that, you can ride them like normal. But fire up.
Yeah.
This is like an E30 M3 thing. Just have the gas. All go away. Okay, check. It's not at your engine. Okay, check on the top. Just hit the brakes. It should go away. You know how to work the AC and all that, right? Yeah. All right. Okay, so it's going to be a little hard to see with the wheels on, but we have the secondary calipers here on both sides. The bracket kit that we're using requires us to remove the dust shield and the parking brake shoes. So all that's been eliminated. You have one on both sides. And then we run our lines. These are just stainless steel braided lines that we run into the T. We tee it off here. One line goes into the car. And I will bring the car down after we assemble the exhaust to show you how we connect it to the hydro. All right, so we already showed you how we split the line coming from the master to the dual calipers. This is a reservoir hydro. Customer went with the nameless performance unit with the 18-inch rod. I think it looks pretty bitchin' in here. People usually have the option of putting it on the left side of the shifter or the right side of the shifter. Recently, most of the people that we've done them for have requested them on the left side of the shifter. I guess it feels more natural to them, but this is the line that we were talking about. It goes from the master through the parking brake cable tube to the splitter that we have over there, that little T. Super clean install, and this puppy's ready to go.